Okay, everybody, sorry about that. I looked over and I was gone. So hopefully you can all still find me. I started another video. I'll leave this up here for a minute so we can get back on. I'm so sorry. I'm here. Oh, here you are. So you're finding me? Sorry, everybody. Hopefully everybody can get back in here. Every now and then that'll happen, that something just stops. So I've had this happen a couple of times, and so's my friend Connie with this. Sometimes something will just stop. So you're back? Everybody's coming back? Okay, cool. So then I can show you how to weed. We're just about done anyway, but I think you're going to want to see this part. I'll wait till a few more people get back in. You may have to go out and come back in again. Oh, people are finding us. Cool. Sorry, everybody. Facebook is Facebook. You never know what's going to happen. And I am in the living room, so I am a little further from my router tonight, so I don't know if that's what happened. So this video will just be in 2 pieces. So you'll be able to watch, both of the videos will be there. The other one I noticed published, so it's there, the first half of it. Oh, is everybody getting back? Okay, we'll wait a few minutes to see if we can get everybody back. I'm sorry about that. It just happens sometimes. So what I did is it asked me to restart my browser. So I restarted the browser and it came right back on. So, okay. Awesome. So we'll wait just a couple minutes here and see if we can get a few more. We had about 40 people in this class, so might have just timed out. I don't think so, because I've had over 1 hour classes before, and sometimes Facebook just does this. So people are like beeping in on my. Oh yeah, people are saying, oh, your video ended. Yep, it did. So hopefully people can find me. Looks like we're doing pretty good. We got 25 back. We got 25 people back, so we'll wait a minute here. Okay. And you'll be able, if those are the people that didn't get back, I'm so sorry, then I'm sure I'll have the video up there. So we'll get finished up, but I'll wait a couple minutes to see if a lot of people got back. They're coming. Yay, little thumbs ups, great. Yeah, things happen live like this. I mean, actually Facebook does pretty good. I don't have too many problems, and we really haven't had too many problems, but you know, it happens. So I have good internet here. Okay, so we're going to go back, and we were about to start weeding. So let me turn the camera around here. Okay, and I'm going to show you my cool little tool that I love here. I have this cool mat. Oops, there goes my stuff to weed, though. Got to get it off the floor. I love this mat. This is a Caterpillar Glow, and it is a white, very white mat, or the white light. It's one of those LED lights. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to touch this, and I'm going to turn it on to the highest setting. Oops, did I get it? There we go. All right. There's a little mat over the top so I don't scratch the surface. But it sure helps me, because then I can sure see what I'm doing when I'm trying to weed, because it puts a light underneath. And these things are awesome. It's called the Caterpillar Glow, and this was a basic. This is the cheapest one. It's one that stays plugged in. They also make them. They're called. There's one that's battery operated, so that you can charge it up and then you can run it on a battery. So I do really like that one also, but I just bought this one because I'm usually home doing this. So, okay, so here's the stuff that we're going to weed. Of course, now it's got cat hair on it because I dropped it on the floor. All right, so we may have to weed off the cat hair too. Oh well. And I need to put my glasses on. So what we're going to do is we're going to weed. And what that means is we're going to take all the pieces off of this that we don't want. I think I got it upside down. There we go. That we don't want to put on the ornament. We just want the pretty letters instead. So I have these cool little weeding tools that look like dental picks. In fact, you can use dental picks. They work very well. I got these from Specialty Graphics. This is my favorite one that's kind of curved like this. And it's very pointy on the end. You want the ones that are very sharp on the ends because then you can grab the vinyl. So I hope you can see this. I'm going to try to put it down as much as I can. And what I'm going to do is I know where my letters are. I can see them. So I'm going to pull. I'm going to start at the corner here. And I like to kind of work diagonally across here. I'm going to pull the corner up with my pick. And then what I do is I like to fold it back. And I keep it very flat to the very flat to the paper. Now, this particular one is going to, of course, you know, when it's live video, God forbid that it would be easy to weed. So what I'm doing is I kind of know what the design looks like. So I'm having to watch my design. I'm standing above it right now so I can see better. So this one's going to be flaky and not going to weed very easy for me. So I'm going to have to be careful when I do this. And I've done this like 4 times at the settings I gave you, but you know, this one isn't going to be as easy because it's live. And I'm pulling up. I can see where my letters are. There's some inside pieces I kind of have to pull up. Now, do you notice how I'm holding this vinyl down? Because if you let this flip down, it's really sticky and it's going to stick to everything. So this is the trick with these. You gotta hold it down and very low so that it doesn't get stuck to anything you don't want it to get stuck to. And this one's being difficult. I apologize because it didn't cut quite as well as the last one did. And this is exactly the same settings I've been using on this design as I've been working on it. So, you know, it knows I'm tired, I think, you know, and then it has to be difficult. Okay. So I'm getting a little closer across the back. And I'm slowly pulling all these pieces off. It's doing pretty well. And sometimes, you know, you just have to weed cut 1 or 2 of these and make some mistakes until you get the feel of it. But you notice how I'm pulling and I'm holding this so that I'm not letting it flop. Because if you let it flop down, you're done because it really is sticky. So I'm going to pull this up here. Now that's a little piece that came off, so I'm just going to leave that be for right now. Here's the inside of the H. And this is the inside of the K, so I need to get a hold of that there. Whoops, it's got me. See, I did one right before we started, and it cut absolutely perfectly, and I weeded it in like 1 minute. And this one's not going to be that easy. So, oh, there's the E. We're doing okay, though. It's working. Okay, and I'm hanging on pretty careful. There's a little circle down here. I'm going to lose it if I'm not careful. There we go. Here's the S. There we go. Okay. Here's the E. Got to find, whoops, the edge of it. Here, just a second. I got to stick my little weeding tool up under there. There we go. So I can get the center of that. It's being difficult. And it didn't want to stay on there very well. So I don't think I lost anything though. My E decided it was going to be slanted, so we'll have to move it slightly. And then here's the inside of that T. That's what the kind of stuff you don't want to do, guys. So if you're very careful, you can usually save it. And I'm going to try. It caught on it for me, and I think I can save it, but I have to be very careful. Okay. Get it way out of my way. So am I still live? It looks like everything's going okay now. Okay. So my E kind of got goofy here, and my H is a little goofy. So we'll just get it pushed down. And let me look at this one so I know how my E is supposed to look. So yeah, it tipped a little bit. So we're going to have to take him and move him around here. Oops, I don't want to get us stuck there. Hey, has anybody looked outside? It was supposed to start snowing. Is it snowing? See if we can get our E to cooperate here. The trick is with weeding. I actually really enjoy weeding. It's very fun, but you do want to be very patient with it because there are times like this that it doesn't cooperate with you. So we also need to take out, you know, the middle of the D here. Here's the E, pull that E out. And this is actually a pretty hard design to weed because it's, you know, there's a lot of detail in it and there's a lot of little pieces. So, and then, you know, there's actually a little piece inside this E. There's like a little sliver in there. I don't know if you could see it, just a teeny little sliver right there that comes out. But you know, when it was that stuck, it actually looks pretty good. What do you think? Look okay? And I managed to get the piece away from me before I got it stuck to everything. But what I do is I always start from the corner and I kind of pull back. And I keep the sticky part straight up and I kind of pull it back as I'm going like this. And you just have to be very slow and work your way across it. If you're doing really, really big pieces, you can actually, what I do is I'll do like a little section of it and then I'll cut off the piece that I've taken off already and get it out of my way. And then I'll work on another little piece and then I'll cut that off with the scissors. I just grab a scissors and do that. That way I don't get pieces in the wrong place. So what do you think? Looks pretty good. Not snowing here yet? Okay. All right, so we've got our piece weeded. I think my E is still a little wonky, but you know, it looks okay because it's not a real straight letters anyway. I think my E is still just a little wonky, but it looks okay. All right. Now, the next part is we got to get this on the ornament. Make sure there's no, okay. And there's a couple little tools for that. We're going to use this little burnishing tool. It's like a squeegee. It's called a burnishing tool. And we're going to use a piece of transfer paper. My favorite transfer paper, and they make real transfer paper, is still the plain old contact paper that I buy at the dollar store. The little clear, you know, the clear stuff that we always used to put over our books and stuff. So here's my contact paper. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit so you can see. What do you think of my mat there? Isn't that caterpillar cool? So I'm going to take this off. Hopefully it'll come off for me. I always have trouble when I want to show people how to do this. There we go. Okay, take it off the paper. Now, this is a little tricky. Okay, when you drop this down, it's going to stick. So you kind of want to get it organized right where you want it and then just let it go. And don't try to move it, because if you try to move it, it'll grab everything and you'll be gone. So I have it kind of organized over the top. I put the sticky sides down onto my letters, because when I take my burnishing tool, I'm going to take my burnishing tool and I'm going to press down on it. So the trick is, we want to take all of these letters off at the same time, so we don't like have to stick them on one at a time. Okay, so burnish it, and then you're going to peel this back, And if you get some letters that don't want to stick, I just kind of take my fingernail and help them off. So every now and then I'll have a little piece that doesn't want to stick. There's a little round ball there that doesn't want to stick. We'll just, there we go. Just take your fingernail and kind of help it along. It's looking pretty good. Whoops, got another little piece here. Sometimes you just have a little piece you just didn't quite burnish as hard, and it won't come off. Okay. It's like the top of my letter here. There we go. Someplace. There we go. Woohoo! There we go. So this is the sticky side of the transfer tape or the contact paper. This is the sticky side of the stuff. So don't stick this on anything that you don't want to stick it on because it won't come off. Okay, so we're going to kind of set this over here to the side. And I'm going to get my ornament. Okay. Now I'm going to have to stand up to do this. I'm going to lay my ornament down on my pad here. Hopefully you can see me. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see. All right. And I'm going to hold this. Now this is also the tricky part. Remember, this is very sticky. So you kind of got to get it organized where you want it and let it go. You don't want to try to move it because it will not move. I'm just going to drop it straight down on my ornament like that. I always take my thumb and kind of lightly burnish it on to the ornament. And then remember, these are glass, so you don't want to burnish like you're trying to, you know, you have to be very careful and not to burnish too hard. But I do use a little burnishing tool on the surface. And then I'm going to take my contact paper, and it's like magic. Look, it's stuck to the ornament. Whoops, had a little spot there that didn't though. Let's fix that one. Okay, my E, that was kind of wonky. There we go. Look at there. Then this piece that we used, I can use that again, so I'll put that back on the paper. And I'll keep that because I might make another ornament the same size and I can use that same piece. Then let's just make sure everything's laid down well. It looks good. Okay, what do you think? Pull this up a little bit so you can see. What do you think? So there's our ornament. And this is like my favorite one. I've always loved this Deck the Halls. I don't know where I found it. And I did it for a few classes some years ago, but I haven't done it for a long time. But I just love that ornament. Now what I did is I then usually, you could put like a big bow right here if you want to. I'm not very good at bows. So what I do is I usually get some pretty Christmas ribbon and just put a ribbon on it like this. And aren't those nice gifts for people? So there's our ornament. What do you think? Even though we had to do this in 2 shots, but we did get it done, didn't we? So here's our ornament. All right. Now I'm going to put this up on the group, and it'll probably have to be a Dropbox because I've got several things to give to you. So I have some surprises. I not only have the Deck the Halls ornament for you, the graphic, but I also did a couple more. So these are those other ornaments that I like. These are the round ones that are kind of flat. And this one says naughty and nice. This is one of my favorite ornaments. So I have naughty and nice for you. And then this is like my favorite one. And then I'm going to show you one more little thing before we end tonight. This one is my gingerbread man. I love my gingerbread man. And this is done with one of those kind of, this is the one from Michael's. I love these. These are kind of like 3-inch ones, round ones. And this one is done with kind of a copper colored glitter. And then, but I got to show you something. I'm just reading your comments a second here. Yeah, I just love the little this one. So I've got the design, the actual design for you. And then I also did the graphics so you can make your own if you want to try it yourself. But I actually have the designs for you too. And I did this one in the class, but it's been several years ago, and I hardly had anybody in the class. So, so I just love this one. But there's one thing about this one that's different. Did you notice there's several colors of vinyl on this one? Well, we have to do something called layering. And let me show you real quickly. It's very easy. It sounds much harder than it is. I'm going to set this aside for a second, but we'll leave him up here so we can look at his face. And when you layer this one, though, you do have to layer it in a particular order. So if you're going to do this one, you might want to write this down, okay? I'm going to take that contact paper, my transfer paper. I got to find my pieces, though, just a second. Here they are. I set them over here so I wouldn't lose them. So here's the naughty and nice that I cut. And you see it cut real nicely. It's very, very thin, but it cut really nicely. And then this is the little, oh, I do have a piece of contact paper in here. So this is the little snowman, or the little gingerbread man. But see how I have him all layered together so that he's all in one piece, even though I cut him in 3 colors. So there's black for his face, the little red cheeks, and then here's the white of his eyeballs and his little dimples, and then the top of him. So when you do this, you have to layer it. And when you layer it, I'm going to take 1 piece of contact paper or 1 piece of transfer paper, and I'm going to get all those colors on to that 1 piece so that I can put it on the ornament. Let me show you how I did it. Now you have to do it in a particular order. I'm going to stand up again so I can see. So this is what we're going for. So I have my little pattern. I actually gave you a picture of him so you can see what he looks like, so you can get him layered correctly. But we're going to start with the white, because the white's going to be up against the paper, and that means it's going to be on top. So I need the eye, you know, like these little eyes, the little white parts of the eyes to be on the top. So I'm going to put that onto the transfer paper first. Oops, there's my burnishing tool. So we're going to burnish that on. Okay. First. And then we're going to pull that off of the backing. So make sure we get, whoops, I didn't get all my pieces, so I got to burnish a little bit. So we need to get all these pieces off of this. Whoops, this one's just being very, this doesn't want to come off. There we go. Oops, almost lost an eyeball. Those little eyeballs are really small. Okay. But this is called layering. Now there's times when you would make actual marks on here, but this one is pretty easy to eyeball it yourself. Second, I got a couple comments, so I got to see if somebody needs me to answer a question. Okay. Then the next color will be the black, because I need to put the little white eyeballs on the black. So what I'm going to do is look at my little picture here so I can tell if I'm getting the eyeballs about where I want them. Okay, that looks pretty good. But like I said, I gave you a picture so you'll be able to see it. All right, then you got to be careful not to lose your pieces that you already got on there, and you need to burnish the black onto there too. Right, so I put another piece of paper on the underneath so I wouldn't lose everything. Oops, almost lost my little piece there. Okay. And there's the black. Whoops. Got to get his little mouth off. Here's his little mouth. Come on. Doesn't want to come off. There it comes. All right, so there's his mouth. And his eyes, and then we need to add his little cheeks. So I'm going to lay this bigger piece down, and then I'm going to lay his cheeks down, and the cheek, like the left hand cheek, is taller than the right hand one. So I'm just going to kind of look at where it needs to go. Oops, second. There we go. Oh, I just lost his mouth. This stuff's really sticky, so if you do this, I've done this all the time, and I can get him back on there. There we go. Maybe. See if I can go this way with him. I lost his mouth, so we'll punt here. We'll put his mouth down here first. Here we go. So there's his mouth. Okay. Then we'll have to get him lined back up again. That looks pretty good. There we go. His mouth wanted to stick to my finger. All right. So there's his little cheeks. Then I'm going to pull this one off. Make sure those little cheeks stick onto my transfer paper. Whoops, got a little paper there. There we go. So there he is, all in one piece. And then when you go to put him on the little bulb, see, then I can put the whole thing on at once. So that's called layering. We'll do something more with layering at another time. But I figured if I just showed you once, I thought you could do it for this one because it doesn't have too many pieces and it doesn't have to be super perfect for it to still look nice. So I was happy. These are fun to do. I really love the gingerbread ones. Okay, so I'm going to put these up on the group. You'll have the gingerbread man, the naughty and nice, and the deck the halls. Okay, so you'll have 3 ornaments to do. So you'll probably all go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow and buy ornaments, right? And lots of glitter. And the Minwax I usually get at Walmart is where I get it in the paint department. Okay. So that is our glitter ornament class. I'll have to go fix the video a little bit and put some titles on it so people can see, you know, what it was. But this is the second half. I'm so sorry that it did that, but we still got through it, didn't we? And most everybody's still here, so I'm so glad. Now, do you have any other questions about the ornaments? Aren't they fun? Yes, Denise, I will do more. Okay, so this is my goal. Next year, starting in January, I am going to try to do a scan and cut class every month. Okay, because a lot of us have scan and cuts. I mean, probably well over half of the people in this group have a scan and cut. And I miss doing scan and cut classes, so we are going to do one a month. I'm going to pick a certain Sunday, and it will have scan and cut. So we'll do all kinds of fun stuff. Are the oval ones glass or acrylic? These are glass, Lynn. These are glass. You can get these in acrylic too, and Michael's had this size in acrylic and in glass. That's where I got these the other night. Okay, who else had questions? Anybody else have questions? Yeah, aren't these cute? I just love to make ornaments, and I've always loved the vinyl. That's been like my favorite thing to cut with my scan and cut is I do a lot of vinyling. And the white works really well. I mean, like you can see I've got other colors here. And then like when you cut your vinyl, keep your scraps, because like these were all done out of scraps. I have little pieces, and you don't need very big pieces for some of these ornaments. So keep all your little scraps. And then there was a couple of different colors of this brownish glitter. This one was called Copper Penny or something like that. And then there's a darker one that's a little bit more brown. So it depends on how brown you would like your gingerbread cookie to be. So, okay. But aren't those fun? I really enjoyed getting this together because I haven't done this class for a while. So, any other questions? And next week is the 17th, right? Yeah, next week is the 17th. We will have Explore Club online. So the Explore Club will be Tuesday night in the store in Davenport, and then Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock it's 4:30 in Davenport and 1 o'clock on Friday in Iowa City. And then we will replay it on So Along with Jan on Sunday next week at 6 o'clock. Okay? All right, well, thanks for hanging in with me and finding me again. So I'll fix the video so you know which one's the first one, which one's the second one. So thanks, everybody. Good night. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.